All right, it's the end of another week, and it's been a long week, and we need to have a check-in.
Yeah.
So what does that look like?
Well, typically, what we find is like those check-ins are just like, hey, how was your day? You give the energy that you feel, so it's like you're exhausted, so you just kind of half-heartedly, hey, how was your day?
Mm-hmm. And that's not answering any questions, because I can say fine, and that'd be the end of the end of the discussion, right?
But that doesn't happen with you, actually. Like, if I say how was your day, you're gonna give me a weekly review.
Yeah, because that's important. Because I like to talk, and I want you to know my feelings.
Yes. Now.
Hey guys, I'm Gleesy.
And I'm Al.
And here forever I do, y'all, we be bragging.
Building relationships
according to God. That's right. So today, we're going to talk about communication.
Yes, and we told you, we're here to help. We want to show you how to have those routine check-ins, but in a not so routine way.
Oh, that's good.
That's why in some cases, you can be married to somebody and you start to feel like roommates. You don't even know what's really concerning them. You don't know what was a low point for them during their week, or what was a high, or what was a win, what was a loss that they took. You don't even know how to pray for them because those check-ins have become routine. However, we're here to help.
Yes. All right. So one thing that we use with our couples is the Simbas books. It's a his and her workbook. And in it, it has a ton of questions and discussion points that kind of help you go beneath the surface.
Yes.
So today, we're going to show you what that conversation should look like.
Absolutely.
And my disclaimer is, a lot of people think, oh, it doesn't take all that. You don't need to do all of that. But the truth is, sometimes you do, especially when you're starting out and learning how to have these conversations. Sometimes you need something like this in place so that you know the questions to ask and the avenues to take to get the information that you want.
Yeah.
So, we have our workbooks here, and we're going to do this exercise.
Yes.
Okay?
But let us explain it first, right?
Yeah, so
background.
This exercise is it's called the daily temperature reading.
And real quick, like we talked about the temperature before.
Yeah.
And we've said how your feelings aren't a great indication or shouldn't guide the temperature of your home. We've talked about how your temperatures are more like that thermometer.
Right.
They tell you how you feel in that moment, but they're not a great thermostat, meaning, again, they should not set the temperature for your home. So we're going to tell you how to set that thermostat with this activity here, and again, help you create an atmosphere in your home that's warm and welcoming for you, your children, your family, your friends, and everyone that kind of steps foot across that door.
Yeah, and I love how it starts in this exercise. It says, at first this exercise may seem artificial and even hokey, but in time you will evolve your own style and find it invaluable for staying close. Do it daily, perhaps during a meal. So, I got my coffee.
That's a meal.
Coffee is a meal.
We need to do a poll on that. Is coffee really a meal?
Yes, you got to start your day with coffee, and sometimes that's all you get until like lunchtime. But here are the basics. So sit close, holding each other's hands, or something along those lines. But you just want to make sure that you're in tune to one another. Put your phones away. Maybe put them in another room. Get rid of the distractions. Okay.
And I want to just highlight one of the things it says. It says do it daily. You should be checking in daily, because sometimes if you wait till the end of the week, maybe you get too busy and it doesn't happen. Or maybe by then your partner has already built up this resentment or frustration because you went all week without asking them how was their day.
Yeah.
So again, it says do it daily. The more you do it, the more you practice it, the less artificial it will feel, and the less artificial it will actually be. It will be a part of your daily routine.
Yeah.
And then the other thing that it says is hold hands or touch. Like, it's hard to be angry or feel some kind of way when you are connected in that way. And touch just again is just it takes down the barriers. It takes
Yeah.
down the walls that maybe you have built up throughout the course of the day because you're out there fighting that battle.
Yeah. Okay. We're not going to touch. All right. So the first one says appreciation. Take turns expressing appreciation for something your partner has done. Thank each other.
Yes. Now, I guess we can kind of cheat on this one because one of the things that we do in our home is actually put up daily gratitude throughout the week.
Mm-hmm.
So we have things to kind of reference to thank each other during the week. So one of the things that we've been trying to do better in our home, and I would say it probably started during COVID, is kind of like teaming up. Whether that's teaming up together for an activity or teaming up with our children for an activity.
Mm-hmm.
So one of my appreciations is just thanking Gleesy for how well she's been teaming up with our son, who all of a sudden is always in the kitchen. Nothing like me growing up, but he's always in the kitchen, and they cook these meals together, and it really is a great moment to just see them kind of engaging and getting on the same page, and he's learning a skill that will help him for a lifetime.
Yeah.
And I think like this past week I can't remember what it was.
It was jambalaya.
Yes, so pretty much my 12-year-old son was able to make jambalaya because he's been in the kitchen so often now. And he and Gleesy were in there, and she was giving him instructions, and he's just like, what's next?
Yeah.
Learning about spices and all that.
Yeah.
So for me, that was just something that was just great to see.
Mm-hmm. Thanks, babe. And for you, I would say thank you so much for all of your help in the garden. We did a total garden revamp this week, and even though you've worked all week, you would come home in the evenings or get off a little earlier, and instead of just coming home and kind of decompressing, you changed your clothes and got out into the garden with me. So I do appreciate that.
And related to the garden, like I know for Gleesy, the garden is like her sanctuary. So it's like over the years, it's continued to evolve, and I take it upon myself because I know I'm not going to go out there and plant anything. And I don't necessarily get it as excited as Gleesy does about like the stuff that's growing and things like that.
But he likes to eat it.
Yes, but I know one of the things I can do to help make that environment what she needs is help build it up.
Yeah.
So restructuring it, building up fences and raised beds and all of that kind of stuff that will make it, again, the place or the environment that she loves to be in.
Yeah. Thanks, babe. All right. So that's part one. Part two is new information. In the absence of information, assumptions, often false ones, rush in. Tell your partner something new. Let your partner in on your life, and then listen to the news your partner shares. So this week, I started kind of a new role at work. So instead of just taking care of the babies, I started going back to taking care of the laboring mom. So this week was kind of exciting as well as a little nervous because I was jumping back into something that I hadn't done for a few years. So I was very happy to be able to do that, but it did create, I was a little on edge this week.
Yes. So thank you for that. Thank you for sharing. And I know you talked about, again, just that transition and how exciting it was. So I think it's great, of course, doing something different, something new, and something that you've done before, but something that you've missed.
Yeah.
So for me, something new is I've been working with like my mother on kind of transitioning to a new stage or phase in life because of some circumstances that happened with her last year concerning like the loss of her home. So got news yesterday that essentially the check for her home is in the mail and on the way. And it kind of, it's new, and it kind of gave insight into some closure that's finally going to happen with this because it's been going on for nearly a year.
Yeah.
So again, it was like some closure was finally seemingly around the corner, and I can sense the excitement in her. And I will say I was relieved because it's been such a long process.
Yeah. And I know you've been working so hard on it, and I'm so glad that you're able to see it come to this point where all of your hard work for the last few months hasn't gone nowhere. Like it's something, and the patience that you've shown, like I've seen it, and that it's almost like a weight is lifted off
absolutely.
of you. So that's good.
Absolutely.
That's good, babe. All right. Puzzles. Take turns asking each other something you don't understand, but your partner can explain. So, for instance, why were you so down last night? Or voice a concern about yourself. I don't know why I got so angry while I was balancing the checkbook yesterday. You want to start with this one?
Let's see. Take turns. You don't understand. So I would say something I don't understand is this is a tough one. So something I don't understand. So I would kind of go with something that was just actually said because I knew that you were excited about the addition of or the change in work and something new that you were about to do. But you just mentioned that you were kind of anxious and nervous and things like that. So I would say like I would love to like understand like where did the nervousness come from because it was something that you had did for years and something that again I know you wanted so much.
I think the nervousness comes from like the expectations that I put on myself and wanting to like for me I'm a high achiever at work and jumping back into something that I hadn't done for a while, like it could be that there's a learning curve, you know, like I'm not going to be at the top of my game right away. So I think sometimes that gives me some anxiety because I put so much pressure on myself to be the best. And just jumping back into it, it's just like, am I going to fail? Am I going to make a mistake? Is something going to happen? And it was so nice because like my coworkers yesterday was just like, you got this. And I was just like, I got this. But you know, it was just like some encouragement just to be able to get over that hurdle and take care of my patients. Yeah. So I guess for me, one thing that I would say is so like I was fortunate to be able to get off early yesterday and help me understand like the urgency that you had last night. Like I was excited because I got home early and I was just like, oh, we about to veg out, we gonna chill. But it was like a lot of urgency with you when I came in.
Yeah, so the urgency with me was because I knew last night was my last night before I have to go out of town for work, and the kids really wanted to have this movie night. So I had already told them what was going to happen. And what typically happens in our home is like, Gleacy does the mornings because of her work schedule, and I'm usually home in the evening. So I had already explained to the kids what was next, what was happening, because they ask a million questions and they always want to know what's next. So the plan was to eat and then go set up so we can have our movie night and the man cave that has now become the family cave. But we were supposed to go do the movie, but when Gleacy gets home, everything stops for them and they kind of rush to her and it's a million questions on her and nothing gets done because it's like they just want to kind of tell her all about their days at the exact same time. So she's trying to unwind, she's trying to get herself settled, and at the same time the kids are just going a mile a minute, and we would have not made it to movie night because they would end up sitting in the kitchen or whatever, just talking about everything. And trying to eat at the same time. And again, nothing would have got done. So I wanted to remind them of what we said the plan was so that even though mom is home now, we can actually get to the plan and we can actually still have that time to eat, enjoy the movie, and at the same time, talk about their days and everything that they wanted to talk about with Gleacy when she came in the house.
Yeah, that makes sense because I'm telling you, like, if they start talking, I completely throw myself into the conversation and everything else can wait. So I appreciate that. Makes sense. Okay. Step 4, complaint with requests. Without being judgmental, cite a specific behavior that bothers you and state the behavior you are asking for instead. So, for instance, when you clean the top of the stove, please dry it with a paper towel. If you don't, it leaves streaks. So, I think mine would go back to last night. So, I would say something like, babe, like, I appreciate you having some urgency and trying to get us to stay focused and stay on task. But it would be nice if you could say, okay, you guys can talk for a little bit and then we can kind of get this done, because for me, I felt like I just had to push everything away and kind of get everything done so that we could do this. But I still wanted to take that time to let the kids know that they were important, what they needed to say. And I kind of sort of love all the attention when I walk in the house. It's kind of nice, to feel like welcome back into the house. So that's how I felt.
Gotcha. That's not a problem, actually. So, yeah. And then, I would say for me, it's one of the reminders that you have put in the kitchen.
Oh gosh.
But I think it sometimes gets ignored, and that is we have this small little blackboard in the kitchen, and on that blackboard it says,
don't put it down, put it away.
Yes. So don't put it down, put it away. And that doesn't always get, seen. So stuff will be left everywhere. And I'm typically the one that'll go back through and like, okay, let me put this away. Now that I lift this up and there's a mess under it, let me clean this up. So I would say just being a little more attentive. So my request is be a little more attentive to your own reminders and don't put it down. Put it away.
Put it away.
Yes.
Okay, noted. I can do that. All right. And then step 5 is hopes. Share your hopes from the mundane. I hope we have sunshine this weekend. Or to the grandiose, I really love to spend a month in Europe with you. I really love to spend a month in Europe with you. But my hopes are, yes, I really do hope for some warmer weather. So, because the garden is all now set up, and I would really love to get out there and to get some stuff in the ground and get planted. So, I would really love some good weather next week, especially since I'm off.
And are you also supposed to share the grandiose?
Oh, so my grandiose would be, it's not even that grand. I just want to get a vacation booked. I need one on the books. Like, I'm one of those people, like, when I come back from my last vacation, I want the next one planned so I have something to look forward to. So I would love to get a vacation planned and on the books and booked and ready.
And I too would like some nice weather this week. I'll be out of town, and it's typically rainy where I have to go.
Yeah.
So it really would be great to have some great weather. And my grandiose, and I'm a little bit different, is since I'll be out of town for a week, is to have be able to work out every day. Is my grandiose for now. For this week coming up, is just having that opportunity, literally with no responsibility, where I can just freely spend time in the gym and working out. Is my grandiose goal for this week.
I might do that too.
Okay.
I am going to do it. It's not a might.
Yeah.
I've been working hard, babe. Okay. So these are the 5 steps for your daily temperature reading. Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Y'all, hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, share this video. How many couples do you know could change the temperature of their relationship if they had intentional conversations like this? Yes, it might seem like a lot, but I promise you, it will be a big difference, and it will be a game changer in how you interact and communicate with your spouse. So make sure that you do it and share the video, and we will see you guys in our next video.
Hey, brag on it.